Hey guys, it's Tyler from Allstar Airsoft, bringing you a video on the advantages of using higher voltage batteries. So this is a subject that a lot of people really don't know too much about if you're a newer player or just getting into Airsoft, and just something that I want to go over so that everybody is on the same page about. And that is the advantages of using a higher voltage battery, what it does to your gun, what could happen to your gun, just simple things like that you guys may not know. So starting right off, we have our baseline battery here. This is actually a Valken Tactical 8.4 volt brick type battery. Now this battery in particular has a large type connector, something that you don't normally see on guns nowadays, but a lot of the older guns just have these larger style connectors and ran off these giant brick batteries. So the first pro of using a 8.4 volt battery is the fact that this thing is huge, so it's going to last you forever. But a con is that the voltage is relatively low, and your gun's not going to shoot very crisp. It's just going to be kind of sluggish, shooting slow, and it's just not going to be where it should be. Now, stepping up from that, you have our 9.6 volt Nunchuck battery here. A lot of people use these 9.6 volt batteries just because they provide a good baseline for power as well as efficiency, and they're not going to destroy your gun, within a week of using it. So a lot of people tend to like these. This one actually has a small type connector, which is standard in pretty much every airsoft gun nowadays. Stepping right up from that, arguably, is a 7.4 volt brick LiPo. Now, the 7.4 volt and the 9.6 volt are pretty much the same thing. In my experience, I believe the 9.6 is a little bit more powerful. The LiPo is working a little bit different way than standard batteries. So, as you guys can see, they do have this extra cord right here telling you this is where you need to charge it. I'll go over that in a whole nother video, but these two are pretty much on the same page. This one is actually 1600 milliamps, and this one is also 1600 milliamps. So, as you guys can see, the LiPo is relatively small in comparison to the Nunchuck. It's about half the size, really, and it's a lot thinner. So, I mean, that's one pro, obviously, because it'll fit in whatever you're trying to put it in a little bit better. But its Nunchucks fit really nice in the train stocks and, pretty much wherever. I mean, they'll go in pet boxes, things like that. They'll go pretty much everywhere you want them to. But the 7.4 is a little bit smaller. Now, moving right up from the 7.4 volt is the 11.1 volt LiPo battery. Now, this is pretty much the top that anybody's going to go to. The 11.1 is a very powerful battery for how small and slim it is. So the 11.1 is pretty similar to the 9.6 volt battery Nunchuck. They both are in the Nunchuck kind of two-piece design, but the 11.1 is a lot stronger than the 9.6 volt. And the reason being is just because it's a LiPo. If you're not sure what a LiPo is, go on Google, look it up. I'm not really entirely sure, but I'll do some research and bring you guys a video about it, and you guys can see the clear differences between these two batteries. Now, what using a higher voltage battery is going to do to your gun is make it shoot a lot faster. So, if you take an 11.1 volt and the 8.4 volt brick style battery we have here, your gun's going to shoot so much different and so much better with the 11.1 than it will with the 8.4 volt. Now, so the cons to this is your gun's going to wear and tear faster, obviously. You're going to put more stress on your trigger contacts, and everything in your gun's going to be shooting a lot faster and a lot quicker. So it's going to be prone to breaking a lot quicker than an 8.4 volt, just because your battery's going to be under so much less power with 8.4 than the 11.1. But regardless, depending on your gun's brand and make and model, really, the 11.1 should be fine. I've seen people run G&Gs with 11.1 volts for, a year. Really just depends on the gun that you have and the player that you are, depending on, how much abuse you put your gun up to. Things like that, just something to think about whenever you're using your batteries. Now, another advantage that the 11.1 has over the 8.4 volt is the size. This thing is tiny compared to 8.4 volt. 8.4, like it says in the name, is like a brick. And the 11.1 is a lot slimmer. It's going to fit in a lot different places than the 8.4 volt will. But this one is actually a lot smaller. This one is 1200 milliamps, which means the size and how long your battery is going to last. So 1200 compared to 1600, the 9.6 is going to last a little bit longer, but the 11.1 is going to make your gun shoot a lot faster. So just something to think about whenever you're picking a battery. So really, that pretty much wraps up this video of the advantages and disadvantages of using higher voltage batteries. If you guys have any questions, leave it down in the comment section below. Be sure to answer all of you guys' needs or any questions you may have about this battery in particular, this battery, or this battery, whichever one you might have any questions about. leave it down in the comment section below. I'll be sure to answer all your questions. Thank you guys for watching this video. This is Tyler from Allstar Airsoft, signing out.